Hey, lots of bots here. I want to show you today a combination of using head and shoulders patterns with pivots. All right, to quickly go over this, we are going to have a primary move in a direction, and we're going to create a right shoulder. Now, how do we do this? We get the primary move, we get the retracement. Okay, there you go. That starts it off. That's 1, 2. Then we get the head, which is 3, which will be like a zigzag. And then 4 will be the retracement, a higher low, and then you will get a lower high, and this will form your resistance level. This is nothing more than a pool of resistance of which the market will break down from. And there you go, there's your pattern. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can draw your trend line right here. That'll be your neckline, and then you'll get your break. And then from here, most people measure, move, calculate this. So whatever the range is from the low of the right shoulder to the head up here is what they would calculate as a target. So that would be from, let's see, from around 78 to 44. So we're looking at over 60 pips. This breaks down from here around 310, let's say, and goes all the way down to 354. So that's pretty close to 60 pips. That's almost perfect. Now markets are, that's an arbitrary measure. Markets don't always do exactly what we want them to because they're non-linear in nature. They're, um, you know, market makers and larger institutions, if they have orders that say, that the supply overwhelms the demand, it really doesn't matter what you believe is going to happen. They don't always work that way. Well, this one pretty much did. Um, so let's see what happens on the reverse. So that's your head and shoulders pattern top right there. Let's see an inverted head and shoulders bottom. And here we go to the left shoulder. Then we bounce up. So we have 1, 2, and then we have the head, 3. Then we have the retracement from here, 4. And then we have the right shoulder formed, 5. And then you get your breakout, which you can see on your trend line. Now, measured move from here to here is just about 30 pips. So we see that after the breakout, it went well beyond that. So that's an arbitrary measure. You can use that as a take profit and so forth to give you a good risk-reward basis. You can just use it in binary options to go over and define a direction for your expiries, like I often do. But they're great and to use in combination with pivot points because pivot points are also another form of areas institutions and banks and market makers look for orders to for support and resistance, just like the patterns themselves do. So that is the breakdown. You'll see the live video of an example of a real-time trade I made and how I define the market structure and so forth. I use them in combination with my algos, so they work out great. But enjoy the video, and I'll see you later. Hey, lots of bots here. I wanted to show you a real-time trade and on the euro, and I want to show you why I've taken this as a long. The time is 9:06, and what I'm looking for is between 9 and on up for us to go higher on the euro. So we had a drop from yesterday from S1, broke through S2, and has dropped all the way down close to S3. But let's look at the pattern that we have here and the reason why I'm getting long. And I'm expecting a swing upward movement into the rest of the day. We had this low, retrace, this low, retrace, this low. Then we had the retrace, higher low, and the breakout right there. So you got your 1, 2, 3. Now that's also equals a what? A head and shoulders type of pattern here, as you can see. And let's draw another line so you can see that. And that's basically the main pattern that you have here for support. And I would just look for higher prices from here. all the way back up to S2 makes the most sense. It's logical. And algo-wise, let me go to the spreadsheet. Yeah, it basically states for the next, well, until probably tomorrow, we'll be going higher. So let's look for that to happen. The 20s, the upper 20 range would make the most sense to exit this position. But hey, who knows? Maybe I'll let it ride a little bit longer. I don't know. I can't predict the future, but I can tell you the reasons why we have an entry here. And as you can see, you have your head and shoulders, your higher low, your 1, 2, 3, breakout, end of story. Your volume was reduced on the down move as it slowly, went lower. The volumes on the downside were lower. The volumes on the upside started to increase. So these are all indications of buying and so forth. So we'll see. I'll come back later and we'll see how this turns out. Hey, lots of bots back here. I had a limit order right at above here for 32 pips, and it was hit. I'm just showing you the move here. It happened when I was out of the room, ironically enough. I heard my computer go click, and there it went. So it went up to S2, like I pretty much figured, and now is oscillating it. It was a really fast move. It'll probably keep going higher. But we got up above the price in this area right here is what I was looking for. My algos say we're still gonna go up, but it's 10 o'clock, and if there's a reversal time between 10 and 11 is the key time. So I don't want to, I got my price. I'm not gonna worry about it. Over 30 pips on the trade. It was a good trade, and you've seen the setup live, real time. And there it goes. So let's go back and review here. We went up to S2, a little bit above. We had the head and shoulders right down there. And boom, 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 boom. Higher low, boom. It did try to retrace briefly. The best placement for stops would be right under here. This is where I had my stop placement on this trade for a little over 10 pips. And it didn't break. It held above here is what you were looking for. And it kept going higher. And then we're doing whatever we're doing now. It might be a blow off after hitting the pivot. But anyway, it was a good trade. Always use stops and limits, in my opinion, if you walk away from your charts. That's important. This was a perfect instance. If I didn't, I would have to exited for only 20 something pips instead of over 30. So this is a good example. Other than that, I hope you've enjoyed this trade, brought to you by Lots of Bots and our sponsor, Bush Beer, because it's mountain fresh. Anyway, have a great day. Talk to you guys later. Bush Beer, when all you want is a nice wet bush. Bush after